Hey everyone, Teehashee here with another thought process RogueTech gameplay commentary. We're sitting on the surface of Weldry, I believe. Yes, we are. And we're looking at at its token contract, Thorn in the Side. Uh, and we're going off to do this assassination as we speak. Go ahead and push salvage up a little bit. Might go all the way to 15 just because it's a 4 skull and the salvage might be decent. A little atypical for me to do that. And we've got some options here. Looks like the Highlander is pushing out huge damage and huge heat efficiency compared to what we've got in competition, which isn't a surprise with its Star League tech. So we're probably going to bring that. We can probably get away with bringing the fire starter on an assassination mission. We've got the Kentaro. We need to ready another medium weight mech. And we've got the Marauder. Now looking at our people, probably gonna just stick Decker in the, well, we'll probably put Glitch in the Marauder and Decker in the Highlander. That all looks pretty good. So let's go for it. See what we can pick up. If you tuned in last time, it was at the tail end of just a harrowing base destruction mission against 2 separate lances and heavy turrets. I think only one of them being an LRM turret. Not to say that the other turrets weren't major threats in their own right. We came really close, about 2 or 7 HP, I can't remember, single digits away from Decker's catapult getting cored out. So we put that catapult away. Those who are paying close attention probably knows that I deliberated heavily as to whether or not I would bring the Orion, and felt was punished. I was punished for not bringing it. So we've got the Marauder and the Orion. We're in the process of building a second Marauder, so that can be our heavy mech, our command mech in the heavy slot. Okay, fighting smugglers. What do we got here? That's a strange looking mech. Oh, it's an awesome. Okay. Not quite sure what variant we're dealing with. And it looks like our pick to go for more salvage was well founded, because we got a lot of bad guys to beat on this one. Pretty sure the last time I was on this map I wasn't fully jump capable, and now I am. So this flank is a hard flank to use, mostly because the edge of the map right there and these fingers, it's just hard to navigate. This left flank is quite a bit easier, so I think we'll do that. Go ahead and brace. Fire starters are scout. It's gonna go get into trouble. The Highlander can also take this flank, but it's pretty slow. Okay. Something about the design of the Marauder. I know the Marauder is a very famous mech, but I don't... It's kind of like the Star Wars Chicken Walker in the sense that it's a bit too skinny. It seems like it's skinny. if you look at like actual chickens, for instance, or birds of prey, pretty rarely are their bodies as thin as the width of their hips. Almost always they've got and like things like ostriches, for instance, are basically a big ball with legs underneath it because they actually use their wings for steering at high speeds. So anyway, maybe pointless commentary. I don't know, but that's how I feel about it. Okay. Oh boy, these guys are heavily, heavily damaged, which is great news, definitely, because we're gonna have to fight a lot of mechs. Maybe not great for our salvage prospects, but the assassination target is almost always pristine, regardless. I think I'm gonna let them shoot at. Oh, it's an ace pilot. Wow, very fancy. Okay. Probably gonna let him shoot Medusa all to pieces because he's still got a lot of evasion and he's here in the trees as well. So even if they hit him, we have damage reduction. That's a 70 tonner, 75 tons even. Wow. So far it seems like there are only 3 of them. And it looks like we'll have to take them seriously. One thing is this is a pretty dark map to highlight the time of day that it is, but I would like to point out that that MechWarrior 5 Mercenaries does give you, it's an ONEV. We'd like to get our hands on that if we can. And an archer, wow. Wow. Anyway, enough being flabbergasted by exactly how threatening this lance is. Pretty threatening. Anyway, you have night vision in MechWarrior 5, and that's a pretty serious game changer for that game. And it allows well, I'll just say it's basically an addition to gameplay because it allows the player to do quite a bit more with quite a bit different builds of mechs than they would otherwise, having to sort of prioritize their builds depending on what visibility they're going to be dealing with. And I support all of that. I like the way that that was done. Not the best shooting ever, but it shouldn't take too much to threaten this blackjack, or even now that the Gauss and the LRMs are coming in, probably enough to damage it a lot. I mean, I'm gonna just shoot my guns. Oh yeah, that's a kill shot. Dead. Sorry, I was deliberating just to fire the Gauss rifle, mostly because I would like to get some decent salvage from this, and you want to save your missiles for knockdowns, but have to get that far, so we did it this way instead. Here's this 4th mech. Archers run pretty hot. We might use the fire. No, he was too cautious, which is fine. Again, the fire starter we're probably going to want to save. Also, a mistake to bring it in a way because we are going to fight so many mechs, 9 in total, I think. And the point just simply is that you know, we're going to be doing a lot of sensor locks and not producing damage with the mech. It's not the end of the world, but you do feel it. Especially if things start going wrong. For right now, they're doing exactly what they should be doing, for us to win at least, which is wasting everything shooting at Medusa. Okay. I would like to jump down there, but I'm also absolutely terrified of getting stepped on by a big mech. So probably something like this. And now we got to decide who to shoot at. I mean, historically, the archer has the thinner armor. I guess jamming their sensors might also have some kind of advantage. If I, like, close my eyes and dream really, really hard. There we go. That's not too bad. Where are we hitting? Dead center of the mech? I think we're looking at dead center on both of them, honestly. So we'll shoot at the one that's closer to the lance. I guess we'll open up with a precision strike. I guess that was kind of dumb to use. Well, it wasn't that expensive. The precision strike wasn't. But I do think we're going to want to be doing our shenanigans with the Gauss rifle and looking for headshots. Mostly because that strategy is too good. Decent shooting there. Might take the archer out this turn. Still have nothing to fear heat-wise, so I guess we'll just keep hopping up there. And we'll just see what happens. That's the end of that. The Orion V is the short-range brawler version of the mech with SRM. I mean, they're just missile hardpoints, but they're SRM hardpoints, and you can actually get uh, some. Oh, it's just a locust. You can actually crank out some really respectable damage with the Orion, and it makes it slightly more heat efficient. I mean, SRMs also generate a lot of heat, but not as much as like trying to cycle the lasers, for instance, and you could keep the lasers in reserve, part of your rainy day fund instead. And it's still viable enough at long range, so if you want to turn it into a missile boat. The there is a version. I think there are two versions of the V in MechWarrior 5. One with the LRM and one without it. And I was actually enjoying the one without the LRM quite a bit more, just to get a decent brawler out of the Orion, because it can be a little tough to do in that game, just because you have to do so much with so little if you're playing single player. Let's see. Do we have to reserve once more? We'll just do that. LRM fire at the Kentaro. Must mean that is the awesome with the LRM 15s on it. If that's the case, that's pretty good news, because it's even the stock version of that mech is very respectable. Two LRM 15s, two large lasers, and that's a good build. It's a build you have to take seriously no matter how you play it. Also very easy to use if you're only using stock versions of mechs for some sort of personal challenge. Mostly because you do have the luxury of the sort of fire support mech and then close, except it's on an awesome, which is also a very beefy mech. So you can fire all of your missiles until they're empty, and then just you don't have to worry about heat too much, and you just large laser things until they're as large lasered as they can be. It's probably a decent kill shot in there. We'll give it to her and see if she can get it. It looked like it. Yep, there we go. So, not very consistent salvage in there, but there is salvage to be had, so I guess we'll just jump down here in a way where we can see this other guy. Probably fight in a way that is conducive to a heat management as well. That fellow has very little evasion, and this fellow has lots and lots and lots of it. They also have to move again next turn, so I might just shoot in their direction. Okay, heat management, heat management, heat management, heat management. Probably roll our attack into the shots that are most accurate. Something like that, maybe. Okay. Then Medusa, I think we'll just sprint him. Gonna be hilarious when that locust headbutts us. And then everyone dunks on my poor fire starter. No, I'm not doing that. It looks like we're just gonna ignore that guy and deal with our bigger fish. Starscream here is firing his laser. $90 tons. Did I read that wrong? About what mech it was? I don't think so. So, and that's 70 tons. So there's, if I'm right, there's another awesome out there. So there's, 180, 230 tons coming at us just from these three mechs. So we'll take that bit seriously. We'll just keep reserving. We got our mobility all built up and so on and so forth. That was like an LRM-10. Pretty rare profile of mechs that are of 90 tons and would fire only one LRM-10. It might be the Cyclops Z, possibly. That's not a bad jump. Let's just take a look up here. Alright, I think that's our assassination target. Oh, this is a Cyclops 10 HQ. This... I can't remember if the HQ... this is a grasshopper. If the HQ was in the game when I was playing it last. Because the HQ, lore-wise, carries a battle computer. And we'll try and get it and not bother with the awesome, because that's my baby. The HQ version of the Cyclops, not that we're really doing the Cyclops review right now, but the HQ version of the Cyclops carries not only the battle computer, but typically carried an HQ, a deployable HQ or headquarters on its back, which is why it has that designation. Is there nothing we can do to get eyes on that Phoenix Hawk? Huh. Well, we have a precision strike, which means we could probably turn this here locust into mush. That wasn't my plan, but lots of adaptations are being made here. The other thing about the HQ model of the mech is that it does not carry the autocannon hardpoint on it, because that's supposed to be where the HQ mounts connects to its like a backpack, I guess. Anyway, we'll analyze that option here in a bit. So since that went all right, I might just walk glitch up here and brace her instead, because she's running hot. Okay, the Kentaro. I mean, the plan was to shoot at this Phoenix Hawk, and I think we're still gonna go with that plan. I'm gonna jump her just to be safe with her, because I'm assuming big damage is gonna come out of that lance here sooner or later, right? That's gotta be the plan at some point. Okay. Repositioning, taking a shot at the fire starter. I think that's all smart. This is as good a time as any to focus the fire starter down, and the other mechs are too heavy and too healthy to really threaten. Here comes the grasshopper, firing its single large laser. Not a surprise. It's what grasshoppers do in this game, apparently. I think we'll reserve one more time and maybe move Medusa. Nope, they didn't even shoot at him. An anemic LRM-10 shot from the Cyclops. Cyclops' damage potential is pretty bad, even if you have a stronger one like the P, I think is the model we have, and that's a good version of the mech, or a more combat oriented version, and it still doesn't push much damage. Oh, it's a traditional awesome. No wonder it hasn't been shooting, and I mistaked, I guess, the 5 and the 10 between the two of them for one of its LRM-15s. Anyway, the Q will probably ignore to the extent that it's not risky. Firestarter, we're going to jump back, something like that. And we'll get this Phoenix Hawk out of here. All of these so far, not only have they been very conservative of their heat anyway, but they're pretty heat efficient mechs to begin with. So let's see, do we have any kind of jump that is gonna be that useful? Maybe this one. Yeah, that one's not too bad. Let's just turn her loose. Kind of like that paint job on that Phoenix Hawk. Alright, so she's got shots. I think I'll jump the Highlander down, probably. Unless I can jump him up the hill somehow. Nah, this is... The game gives you a slight accuracy buff if you maintain the high ground. Enter your Star Wars references here. Which is why I wanted to stay up there. But for now, I think we'll just keep pushing Glitch up and have her reduce her heat. I think either of those are probably fine. If they, I'd be amazed if they turned and shot at her anyway. Their options are dwindling pretty fast. Probably the Kintaro is the best pick for right now. Grasshopper, you're next. Nope, shooting at the fire starter. With one large laser. As you do. Splitting their fire as well on the two lightest mechs. I don't know what to tell you about that, but it's bad playing. That's for sure. Because they're not focusing fire and they're not like actually shooting their guns, and you really need to be doing both. I hate to tell you. Okay. So probably gonna put the fire starter up on the bluff. Yep, something kind of like that. And we'll try and zero this this grasshopper this turn. Got coolant vent all prepped on our Big Macs. Oh, this was a dumb call because we've got precision strike and we're gonna shoot the Gauss rifle this turn. So, I guess we'll just do it anyway and pretend like I meant it if it lands. No, it went center torso anyway. Yeah, which is a kill shot. And then glitch. I think, can I get her line of sight on these kids? Alright. I'm going to go ahead and start working on the awesome. Double down on the Cyclops salvage as much as possible. The issue, and if you're familiar with the game at all, the issue is obvious. The Cyclops is very badly damaged. Like, these smugglers are smuggling this mech. They just dug it out of like a hole that it was lying in and haven't repaired it since. So anyway, the other thing that I might start doing in here is I might start having Decker take shots at the head with the Gauss rifle. And only that, just to see if we can put it in the dirt. I could have... My strategy hasn't been on point for this, because I could have wiped his evasion as well, and that would have been a tasteful thing to do. Right. Don't really want to go into melee range of assault mechs, but and go ahead and take the Cyclops out of the fight until we can kill the awesome. Okay. Might get shot in the back by the awesome. Don't know yet. It would make more sense for Behemoth to do it, or to get shot at, I should say. Wow, what terrible shooting. That's usually my job. We're gonna reserve. Cyclops is back up. I don't know if there's... We should probably keep moving. Yeah, okay. There is a better reposition. Hit the other arm this time. Hitting the arms isn't a bad way about it though, because you need to work inwards to salvage mech. Salvage mech's the traditional way, so that's fine, I suppose. All right. Probably gonna have to reserve and let the Cyclops do something this turn. We'll cook it. Transitioning into the next round. Okay, here's Behemoth. I think we're still cooling down. That might be dangerously close to melee range. Wow, this guy is spectacular. Let's let the Cyclops move. I think that was an alpha strike, if that's an indication of how undergunned that Cyclops is. Alright, here's Medusa's turn. Okay. Not terribly great shots here. Oh, it's because I might not have correctly had that selected. See, the battle computer is definitely there. Looking down the side of the mech. Why not? We got the rounds. We might as well just keep giving it a shot. And then I was considering actually trying the same thing with glitch. All right. Alright, the flamers are out. Doesn't mean the end of Medusa, it just means that we're going to be trolling a little bit with him. Alright, we're going to back up. And coolant dump. Awesome might run. I don't know yet. Looks like a shot made it through. Thus continues the epic standoff. Yeah, we got it. We got it, boys. Okay. And girls, yeah. And those of less specific genders. Sorry, I was just reconsidering if I should like be properly going for more salvage in this case, but I really don't think so, because of how little salvage we got from this. I might be able to DFA him onto his side. The only real risk with that is that he's gonna stand up this turn and he might just power bomb Medusa into the ground. We'll try and be a responsible kid and go for the salvage. Oh, we took out a PPC. Duh. So this is pretty much standard procedure for going for salvage. Is once you have enough precision and enough Gauss rifles too, you can pretty much just obsess over. That seems like a good call. Over headshots, and maybe you get it, and then in which case you'll get the mech instantly. Um, oh yeah, I wiped all the armor off of those little chicken legs. It's my first TFA with the fire starter, so I didn't know, but we'll repair it and it'll be fine. Alright, let's pull up here and do the knockdown. Probably don't need all of these SRMs firing. We can shoot something else too if it's a mistake. So let's just fire 3 of them. Duh. But yeah, basically what it is you either do knockdowns over and over and over again, or you go for headshots, or some combination of the two. And you don't want to shoot the mechs, even though it gives you precision shots and everything else. If you already have the resolve, you don't want to shoot them while they're down, because it's robbing instability, and you might get another knockdown or something like that. And killing the pilot is by far the surest way of getting the salvage. Yeah, she said another hit like that and you're toast, which is probably accurate. What we're going to try and do is we're going to try and move over here to the fresher side of the mech. Not that much fresher, but it's something. I'm really worried about a kill shot. It seems highly likely at this point that this enemy mech is going to go down. Yeah, dead. Oh well, it was worth a shot. And pulling in that HQ is, I mean, it's my baby. It's not a great mech, but we'll probably put the Zeus away. I mean, we'll see. You want to keep assault mechs on hand. Jeez, that Highlander. Okay, Cyclops HQ. Bringing you with us. And everything else is pretty much par for the course. Any cool guns? Plus change medium laser. Not very exciting for salvage otherwise. So let's see what Yang has to say about this HQ. I think the one with that kind of has the battle computer represented is the Cyclops P in MechWarrior 5. And while you fight one on a Heroes of the Inner Sphere mission, you can't salvage it. I don't think. You don't get any salvage. Pretty generic response. Let's check out the mech itself. We've got to repair this this fire starter too. So here's the queue that we've got, and here's the HQ. Oh, very interesting. So the HQ was definitely not in the game when last I played, because this thing has both the battle computer and an advanced command mod, just like, if I understand, just like the Marauder. Has the Lance command mod. See, and they have differing bonuses, in which case they more than likely stack. Now, you see the absolutely pitiful firepower of the HQ, though. Um, and so not like pairing them together might not even be that beneficial just because of how much you lose by throwing your two heaviest mechs into the ring as these sort of passive performers. So this is a cool. So we called this when we discussed them, when we learned that they were putting the Cyclops in the game. The question A was, would they put the battle computer in the game at all? And question B was, if so, how would they represent it? And we all decided that the simplest, most effective thing they could do is just give it one initiative for all Lance units, which is exactly what they did. And this, in the hands of our commander, who's a master tactician, means that instead of moving as if it were assault, it moves as if it were a medium mech, which it just like what initiative does in the game. It just lends flexibility and not much more. This is interesting. This thing that I'm suddenly noticing is that it's got a lot of laser mounts on the arms. As you can see, instead of having the HQ, and it still has no AC-20, it has this advanced command mod, providing a damage reduction for the entire lance and an accuracy bonus for the lance as well. The Cyclops is meant to lead an assault lance, or meant to support an assault lance. It's fine on mixed lances, but you do trade away your assault mech for these two things. So we're gonna play around with it, and by play around with it, I mean we're probably gonna be super boring and just put a bunch of medium lasers on it and call it a day. I might think about it a little harder than that, but not much harder. Like look at these guns. Like it's basically, I mean, it's more poorly armed than a trebuchet, I'm pretty sure. So, uh, so what can we do? Turn it into a missile boat is probably the most reasonable. It takes the guns off the arms, makes the arms a non-issue, and keeps the mech out of the fray. Probably the best call. We'll start with that. It's already got a lot of armor on it. So that's nice, because that means I don't have to figure out how to put more armor on it like the issue we were having with the other one. So, we could just give it its 4 LRM5s. That's the equivalent of an LRM20. Better weight distribution, higher heat production is how they balance that. And an LRM20 only needs 2 racks at max. That would put us up at 89. The other alternative is we could put 1 rack on it. It'll burn through them faster. It also looks like our heat efficiency is through the roof. Way more than it needs to be. So yeah, we could definitely do something like this. I would like to put jump jets on this bad boy, and the assault class jump jets are 2 tons apiece. Pretty substantial. That's what they are. But the Cyclops is a fast mech, especially for its tonnage, especially for its tonnage. So giving it jump jets is fun, I gotta say. And it can mount 4 of them, which again, like, gives you cool options. But that put, as you can see, put another 8 tons on this bad boy, which means we're gonna need to make some decisions. One thing that I was considering is, especially with this mech's like heat sinks already being mounted on it, is making it into a kind of crab. That's with everything taken off of it. I'm trying my best to take everything off of it. Let's see what our tonnage is at with 2 large lasers mounted on it. 7 tons, and we can start shedding heat sinks. Even go with passive heat sinking. 3 tons over, we'd have to lose 3 tons of armor. And this is what we get from those alterations. Definitely going to be battling the heat. But that's kind of what we got. We had the LRM5s on here. One ton of ammo, 2 medium lasers. I mean, we can fit everything and another ton of ammo. The only issue with that is the question of what you do when your ammo does run out, right? Because you're not packing any lasers. You're not really doing much to make it work. Let's. In terms of damage, this is probably the most damage you could push out of the chassis. It's just 6 medium lasers. See, it was at 3 and it's going up to 4. Our heat efficiency is absolutely pooping the bed. You could absolutely max it out on tonnage and still have, we could turn it into a big Jenner. And that's like a pure support build where it's barely even showing up to work that day. Like after that, you could put an LRM5 and its rack of ammo on it. Pretty much have to stretch it. But look at how much armor. Like it doesn't need that much armor to be perfectly honest. Not if the mech can't deal any damage and it brings a I mean, with the Marauder, it brings the damage boost. Kind of turning the end of this mission into a theory crafting, or the end of this episode into a theory crafting gush. So if you guys dipped out, I wouldn't blame you for a second. This is sort of the silly, fun, boring stuff that makes me who I am. I do kind of feel that we were onto something with the LRMs. plus 1 rack of ammo. What's our armor at? 1120. It's... I mean, you guys already know. It's neither great nor terrible. Same with the heat efficiency. The heat efficiency can be forgiven because you're going to be firing LRM5s and maybe not even repositioning that much. So 120 rounds, and we've got 20, so 5 shots, and it's out. I mean, it's not pitiful. It's just like then it gets to close and play around with medium lasers, all 2 of them. The honest to goodness answer is to shed the jump jets. Probably. I'm more inclined to do this. Like I realize the flaws. Believe me, I do. Like the idea that if you lose an arm, you're losing half of the damage off of the mech. One thing is that this thing would get quite a bit better with access to double heat sinks. We could put the exchanger on it. And 2 sinks. We could do that. We're gonna put 4 heat sinks on it just to see what the comparison is. It's probably better overall to use the exchanger. But the other thing is it does allow us to push just this ridiculous armor cap. And you know, you can't deny that that's a ton of armor. Probably more armor than a lot of 100-tonners. There we go. So I like that. I don't know if that's a particularly popular build, but 6 medium lasers in terms of damage is absolutely nothing to sneeze at. You don't have any sustained problems. The only thing you have is a range issue, and it's not a slow mech and it's not a squishy mech, as well as just like just right off the top, negative 10 damage plus accuracy. All those things benefit lasers. Especially medium lasers. So I guess we're building a disco hunchback. And this is going to be our command mech. We're going to bring it on, we're going to bring it on every mission until it gets broken. So that's the pledge, or that's the sort of challenge that we're setting setting ourselves up to do. It's gonna be not that great because it doesn't have any jump jets and it's only got medium lasers. So we're gonna run into challenges like that. But pairing it with the Marauder, um, we're also going to be asking a lot more from our light mech in terms of damage. So we need to ready a light mech that can do that. But that's okay because it also means impressing our assault mech into the front line. And so we do have a Panther that would be a great substitute for the fire starter, just because it doesn't have to be in direct combat. This build is really good for a light mech. So I'm almost tempted to bring that out. I don't know how much more. I do have a flea. Fleas are very solid light mechs, but we're really going to be looking for one that does not have to get in close anymore. So for its weight and for its loadout, it's probably going to be the Panther. We'll just ready that. Might even look for a second Panther and mothball the Jenner as well, though the Jenner we're definitely going to have use for down the road. And what are we looking at with assault mechs? Interesting. This one's got the double heatsink on it. Okay, so let's shift this stuff down here. This also stays the way that you leave it, which it does not do in MechWarrior 5. It's terribly annoying, especially if you organize, like here they're organized by lance. But even if you organize them in MechWarrior 5 by weight, they just don't stay there, and it's a big annoyance. Okay. Enough complaining about that. Let's do contracts. And let's go do this Smith and Defense. 25 days, that's plenty of time. You need, for this one, you need a jump capable lance. But I pledged, I made the promise, right? So we're going to take our command mech in. Okay, we'll probably just let him take a stab at it. Why not? Oh, he broke it. Big sad. We'll just get these last training modules done. I was hoping to get more work done there on Weldry, and it just didn't come together. And that probably puts our Argo upgrades on hold because just our financial situation. I mean, that's $500,000. Hydroponics is great to build, as well as the zero-G pool, also a good pick. So I think we'll do hydroponics. Much more realistic thing for your colony ship to have. I know, Darius. It's my fault. I push this company way too hard. But we got mechs in the bank. We got Pokemon. We can sell them if we need to. But ideally, we'll go knock this Smith and Mission out. Probably not going to do it this episode, but the next one we'll do it definitely. Maybe. Did it break? There we go. When your hidden loading screens aren't all that hidden. It's not the 100% best optimized game, but there are definitely worse. This is cool that you see other jump ships at this jump point. The world building in this game is much healthier than MechWarrior 5. So I can definitely overlook a few video game flaws. I got you, Darius. I know it's your job to sweat these things, but we're space cowboys, so let's take a walk on the wild side. Alright, we'll just say not yet. Let's look at the hiring hall really quick. This guy's pretty solid. Mercenary crew, pirate captain. We don't really need too many pilots of this design. Let's look at Skull, Davian Poor, Corporate, Smuggler, OTS and Naval Lieutenant. This guy's got some great training. He's a Liao Noble. The Deer Hunter. Tempted to pick up Thrash. I mean, we haven't lost any pilots so far, so it's a little silly. I guess we won't. I like collecting pilots in this game, and maybe when we're so rich that it doesn't matter, we'll do more of that. Plus accuracy and crit. That's kind of a disappointment. Well, there's LBX5s for sale. That's cool. And it's ammo. Might pick that up. No fancy equipment. She put on a little bit of experience now that our training modules are all maxed out. These pilots are almost all maxed out. Medusa's still coming along nicely. We're going to wait for gunnery though. Peace as well, making progress. Proxima also gaining points. And our boy. Okay, guys. Jump in for the next one where we take our hodgepodge of a lance up against the Taurians and try and liberate, or at least perform a safe counterattack on Smithin. See you next time.